Boy, these bees were a little rowdy, but now they've calmed down. I got them able to smoke. But look at all that nice, fresh comb. They only had 2 frames up here that were not new. This frame, and then another frame somewhere's over here, probably this one. All the rest of these frames were new frames, and they had already built out 5 frames before. So they went from a double 10, well, from a double 5 into a double 10. That's what they're in now, is a double 10. And they are doing wonderful. Hopefully they're finding enough food to finish out these frames. So they were a little bit pissy, which has me concerned whenever I first opened them, because I don't see any ants or anything. So it makes me worry that maybe they're lacking a little bit, but other than that, they look really good. Wow, this colony has turned around. They hadn't built this box out none. They had quit. Then the last time I come back, they had started back up, which was a good sign. It meant that they were getting something in nature, because I hadn't fed them. Because I assumed that the flow would have been on earlier than it started. So they had about half of it. Well, now they're lacking, it looks like these 2 frames. All the rest of it's drawn out. So I'm going to look at these frames, see if they're fully capped or if they're a hybrid of capped and eggs or larvae, because there is no excluder on this, so the queen can jump however she wants. And we'll see what they look like. And I'm probably going to cycle these frames towards the center. So really, it just depends on how pissy the bees get. Boy, this box is beautiful. So what I've done is, I've moved those 2 frames over. There's one there, and then there's one there, in between a frame that is mostly nectar / honey and a little bit of brood on the bottom of it. But this frame here is just a full sheet of, you guessed it, nectar that they're turning into honey. So I'm going to leave them be, and I'm going to check back up on them later. And if I can get free good frames of honey, that'll fill up my little extractor, and I can spin those out and then put the empties back in here for them. So that way, hopefully, I can try to prevent backfilling and getting honey bound, because it does happen out here a lot. So that's what I've seen in this hive. They're doing wonderful. Now, they're not as pissy as those girls over there, but these have not had to build as many frames as these girls have. So they're in a very happy spot. It's very good to see. And here is the wellhouse hive. Boy, they've got this box sealed up. Woo, look at that. Them bees look beautiful. And now we put that there. When we get to looking, I see drones. Don't know about you guys, but I see drones. Loads of drones in this colony. And it looks to me like they're working on this box. Now, unfortunately, this ain't on stand, so it's harder for me to put my phone down and work this colony, because they're on their own. Loads of drones, though. Absolutely a lot of drones in this hive. I've not seen many drones in the other hives, so this is interesting to see all these drones. This is probably the colony supplying most of this little yard here. In terms of, bees in this yard, obviously there are other bees out in the woods or on other people's properties, and they're probably supplying some drones too. So these might be some of the drones that the queen of the cathedral hive mated with. But I'm going to sit y'all down and take a look in here. I've already seen that they've drawn out at least some of this. Looks like they've drawn this frame out here. I know it might be hard for the camera to see, but... Alright, this whole box is honey. I pulled the end frame, I pulled a center frame, and I pulled the other end frame. They are all capped with honey. Now this is a shallow, it's not a deep. So shallow is the smallest of the standardized frames. Not many people use them, but a lot of people use mediums. So not only have they in this time drawn these out from foundation, they have capped them as well. So I've got to really leave this colony because it's going to be backfilling if it's not already started. But I don't have any honey bandit, honeybee gone, honey rustler, however you want to call it. I don't have none of it. I used all of it the other years. So I'm going to have to get me some more of that. And because these are shallows, I can do 6 of them in my little tiny extractor instead of 3. But beautiful, beautiful box, beautiful bees. They're not being too aggressive. They were a little pissy the first frame I pulled out. Had a couple of them like, what are you doing? But then I put the frame back. I had to smoke them a little bit to get them off the corner so I could put the frame back in the box without killing a bunch of bees. And after that, they've been pretty calm. So I'm going to have to do something about that. I could try smoking them, but there's no guarantee that I could get them all off of the frames. And there's a good chance it might rain later on today. And I really need a sunny day. So that way we can run the frames, pull them off, put them back in here, and let them clean them up instead of letting them sit. So they can immediately get back to work. But this is a colony that looks like it might be going to perform a fall swarm, which I hate, because then you've got a greater chance of the colony collapsing, especially here, because it's in the fall. Drones aren't nearly as popular as they are in the summer. You're dealing with other factors, wasps, hornets, they all want food and they've switched over to carnivore. So a queen is a nice yummy snack. So I'm going to try to prevent that. But that's all of it for now. Hopefully this was interesting for you, maybe a little bit informative. And yeah, thanks for watching.